The story is only for the entertainment purpose. The characters, places and incidents that are shown are all imaginary and has nothing to do with the reality. It's solely from my imagination. I don't own any picture. It's just a fanfiction, so treat it as one. Thank you. We are doing this for your own good. He is wealthy and will take care of you. I scoffed. Stop lying. You never cared about me. And doing this for my own good? Since when did you started thinking about what's good for me and what's not? My brother came toward me. Honey, try to understand. You will live a luxurious life there. What else do you want? Your father and I picked him for you. We know it's sudden, but you'll start to like him too. We just want what's best for you, she said, holding me by my arms. I jerked my mother's hand and moved away. I said, stop lying. Stop acting as if you ever cared about me. You guys probably received a hefty sum from them. Tell me, did you guys sell me? Cause that's the only thing I can expect from you guys. Taking advantage of your own daughter? Aren't you guys ashamed of yourself? I felt a sting on my right cheek. I brushed back my hair from my face and looked at my so-called father. He was glaring at me with so much wrath. You have always been ill-mannered. I glared at him back. Why? Did you ever treat me as your own daughter? Did you ever treat me as you treat honey? No. Did you ever treat me as a person who is blood related to you? What nonsense are you talking, Ryan? My brother says, sternly jerking me by my arms. You can call it nonsense, but it'll not change reality. And Dad, if I am ill-mannered, then what is Hani, who's famous in whole school for her nasty personality? Hani looked at me. Why are you dragging me in? And here I am ill-mannered. She never talked back to us, my father said, defending her older daughter. I smiled sarcastically with pain. Yeah, right, because you have never given her a chance to. She was always loved and prioritized in every matter. Why are you always talking about love and everything? Stop being dramatic. You are not a kid anymore. I expected this from her. Yeah, nonsense, of course. It would be nonsense if it's coming from my mouth. Hani was looking at me while sitting on the sofa unbothered. I didn't raise and let you study for all this, or you to talk back on us. My eyes were stinging from tears which I was controlling hard. It always ends on this subject. My brother joined Hani on the sofa unbothered as well. Just because you guys have given birth to me and given me food, do you think you succeeded as parents? My father walked toward me aggressively, but my mother stopped him. Don't make me mad, Ryan, or else you'll me. What can I expect? You know what? I'll marry him. Even though I'm the youngest, I'm ready for the marriage. If it means leaving from this as known as so-called home. Also, arrange it as soon as possible. I can't live here anymore. It's getting unbearable. I said and stormed toward my room. After a week, my wedding date was fixed. I didn't expect it to be this soon, but the sooner the better. A driver and lady, who was a maid I think, were sent daily for me to buy everything necessary. I didn't want to buy anything other than bridal gown, but that lady insisted on buying things that were unnecessary and too expensive. I guess they were really rich. I didn't even know who he was. Is he bad or good? But even if he's bad, I won't be hurt emotionally or mentally, cause he's stranger anyway. It hurts more when it's from the people whom you think you know the best. My sister insisted on coming with me, but I declined her generous offer. She is the one who made my own father hate me. Soon the wedding day came. I got ready by the beautician sent by my in-laws. Not gonna lie, but I was looking really pretty. My parents and siblings came to my room to give me their fake blessings. Stay blessed, my daughter. I hope you always stay happy. My father said, smiling, coming toward me to hug me, but I took a step back. My dress would be numbered. Thanks for your blessings, I said sarcastically. He still smiled and tried not. I'm happy for you, sister, my brother said. I'm also happy to be free from you all finally, I said, setting my veil in the mirror. I hope your husband take care of you and love you the most. Always be happy, Hani said. Sounds totally fake, but okay. I last time checked myself in the mirror and walked toward my father. Although I don't want to, but I have no choice. I can't go alone there because of useless tradition. Shall we go? I linked my arm with my father's arm. The door opened as I gasped, looking at the number of people staring at me. I could see their wealth just by their appearance. I immediately lowered my gaze. My father started walking with me. As we were about to reach the stage, I whispered to my father, don't contact me after this. Forget that you ever had a daughter named Ryan. You lost the right to be my father after selling me. Don't even come on my funeral. I could feel my father's hand tightening painfully, which was placed on my hand. Stop your nonsense. I did not sell you. You stop it. You think I didn't see you receiving money from their maid? I freed my arm, which might be red by now. That was just money which they gave us for arrangements. You don't have to lie, dearest father. Take care and goodbye forever, I said as we reached the stage. My father gave my hand in my groom's hand, whom I did not even see yet. His actions were not soft at all. I found it odd but shrugged it. After all the vows and formalities, it was time for the ring ceremony. We exchanged our rings. Was it just me or he was also uninterested just like me? I don't want to. He lifted my veil and that's when I saw him. He was gorgeous, beautiful. I was staring at him that I didn't even realize his were already on mine. They were soft indeed, but his actions were not. During the whole ceremony, he didn't talk with me. I was doing the same. A not too old couple walked toward us. We are Jungkook's parents. Sorry we could not meet you before marriage as we were so busy. We talked for a bit and they were actually nice. Thanks to them an hour passed without getting bored like before. It was time to go home. Our guests have already left. Jungkook's parents also left as they had some work in the morning. Jungkook left saying, I'll bring the car. My so-called family walked toward me. Goodbye, I said and also walked outside without meeting them. They were just a bunch of strangers disguised as my family. As I walked out of the venue, I saw a car, assuming it to be his car. I walked toward it and sat on the back seat where Jungkook was sitting already. The driver started the engine. It was awkwardly silent until he spoke, still looking outside. You must be happy now. I looked at him confused. You're married to me. He looked at me, staring right in my eyes, making me nervous. The boldness in me was long lost. What do you mean? I don't even know you. He chuckled and looked away. But you do know I'm wealthy. Wealthiest in Korea. My eyes widened. I knew you were rich, but didn't know you were this wealthy. I was in shock. So you are more happy now? What does he think of himself? Hello, mister. I don't know you, nor do I care about your money. I'm not poor myself and have enough to live a good life. What can a simple desk employee earn? I'm hating him already. A good and peaceful life. If having money means becoming an arrogant person like you, I refuse it. I looked away as my eyes met driver's eyes through mirror, which were white with shock. What did I even say? Seems like you really don't know me, judging by the way you are talking to me. Otherwise you would not. I could see driver was looking at me from time to time as if he was afraid of something. I just know your family is the owner of John Enterprises. My father's a mafia lord and I am mafia prince. He sat still looking away. Am I that scary that he's not even looking at me? Then I am a princess of Korea. I got separated from my royal family when I was young. Now I am living normal life as I didn't like luxurious life. The driver chuckled but immediately covered it up by coughing. I too smiled but my smile immediately vanished after he looked at me with dangerous eyes. I gulped while looking at him. He was looking so scary. First time I felt scared just by someone's stare. Do I look like I'm in a mood to joke around? I simply shook my head being scared. His face was so close to me. I felt my palms getting sweaty. Why, are you scared now? I again shook my head. Why? He said in a husky voice, leaning more toward me. I was trying to make a safe distance but was failing every time by him leaning more and more. You won't hurt me cause I'm your wife now. I tried hard not to stutter. What made you think that? You are my property now. I can do what I want. I'm not your property. I'm not an object. I'm a human. The feminist in me said, if you're not an object, why were you sold to my parents? I knew it. I knew, but why does it hurt more after hearing it? I was silent, trying not to look weak, but my eyes were already glossy. He looked into my eyes and moved away. My tears fell from my eyes and I immediately looked away. After a few minutes, the car stopped in front of a really beautiful villa. It was out of the busy city, in beautiful forest and on a little height. I was still busy admiring my surroundings when driver opened my door. I looked toward my side and Jungkook was nowhere to be found. Master already went in. You go inside. I'll bring your luggage. I nodded my gentleman husband. I went inside. I saw Jungkook walking toward kitchen. I slowly walked toward him. He drank water and walked out. He walked toward some direction and I followed him. He was about to close the door when he saw me standing in front of his room. What do you want? He said in cold tone. Where will I sleep? He closed his eyes, clearly looking annoyed. Wherever the hell you want. I don't care. He said and slammed the door harshly on my face. I'm done with this man. I walked away, stomping my feet. I asked the driver who was bringing my luggage inside. He showed me a room and I instantly passed out after my back touched soft mattress. Of course, after washing up, I was tired. I decided to confront him in the morning. In the morning, I woke up around 9. I walked down after getting freshened up. I didn't bother to put my makeup on. I saw an abnormal human sitting on the dining table having breakfast. He didn't even bother to call me. I sat on the chair and glared at him, but he was unbothered. We need to talk. I sat and was ignored successfully. Mister, this time he looked at me. I have a name. Leave it. I don't want to hear my name from your mouth. Language. He sat looking dangerously in my eyes. But I'm done. You don't deserve it. Just like you think I don't deserve to be talked nicely. Aren't you getting too comfortable with me? Leave me. I said leave me. I stood up, jerking his hand away. I didn't have a choice. He too stood up, making the chair fall behind. Because you didn't want it to leave such a golden chance to marry into a rich family. What do you think of yourself? You think you can do anything with your money? He took slow steps toward me. Yeah, anything, just the way I bought you. I pushed him away from me aggressively. I'll return every single penny to you. Oh really? He looked amused. Even if you yourself somewhere else, you won't be able to return it in this lifetime unless you. I slapped him hard with all my might. The next thing I knew, I was on the floor. He so hard that I fell on the floor. I felt metallic taste in my mouth, but that wasn't it. I was trying hard to tolerate you. He caught my and leaned toward my, but seems like you don't understand with a simple language. Don't forget, I have the powers in milliseconds without anyone knowing it. A shiver ran down my spine. I could feel my body shivering. He stood up, setting his coat. And remember, you have to do all the house chores as I don't have maids. I don't like any presents in my house. I'm only bearing you just because of my parents. Otherwise, I would have thrown you away already. He said and left the house. I didn't cry because I was used to it. It hurted when father used to hit me. Not physically but emotionally and mentally. The only thing which hurt me is him treating me as I'm some kind of. I stood up wiping the corner of. I have to bear it. I will do whatever it takes to return his money, but I will never go back to that. I should not have her, but she did it first. But whatever, she's a woman. I should not have done that to her. How could I forget my parents' teachings? But what can I do? I have severe anger issues. I try hard to control it but end up bursting. I try to avoid her as much as I can. I just have to bear her for 2 years. After securing my position, I'll kick her away from my life. She's so annoying and bratty. She's the first one to talk back to me. I sat and chuckled. I looked to the front and saw my driver staring at me weirdly. What? He immediately looked away. At night, I came late on purpose as I didn't want to face her. I opened the door, but the lights were still on. Is she still awake? I looked here and there and saw food placed on the dining table neatly. I ate some snacks in the evening, so I was still hungry. And the smell of food was making me more hungry. I walked toward the dining table. I drank the water and was about to place the glass when it fell from my hand. Luckily, it fell on the table, so it didn't break. I was about to place the glass back down when wine appeared out of nowhere, scaring me. The glass I saved ended up falling and breaking into pieces. Why were you sleeping on the couch? Is it a place to sleep? She chuckled, looking at my scared figure. I cleared my throat and composed myself. I was about to leave when she spoke. Dinner? I'm not hungry, I said coldly. She nodded and stood up, walking toward her room. Wait, isn't she supposed to insist on having my dinner? I stopped her when I saw something. Did you go anywhere? I asked as she was wearing a formal suit. She stopped but didn't turn toward me. Office. I felt my anger surging up. I walked toward her, held her arm, and jerked her toward me. She bumped on my chest. With whose permission? She put her palm on my chest to push me away. I placed my other hand on her, not letting go of her. Leave me. Why am I feeling ashamed? I should not have called her that. But she was sold to me. But then again, and why do you think I would ask anyone for permission? It's my life, which belongs to me now. I sat tightening my grip on her. It hurt my ego. I'm her husband. She was still wiggling in my hold. I started walking forward, making her stumble back. I caged her between me and wall. She tried to push me, which was nothing in front of me. I'm not your property. I said I'll return you money, so don't treat me like. While she was trying to push me, I felt regret consuming me, but I didn't show it. Don't you raise your voice ever again in front of me, or I can't guarantee where you'll end up next time. I sat holding her close to me while she was breathing heavily. She was scared.